I think she did us a favor with that one.
You may not agree when we start digging into the HBO back catalog.
The HBO back catalog has a lot of stuff in there. I mean, if you didn't see it growing up.
Some of our old toys give me the creeps.
It's a stick with a hungry hippo attached to the front. Damn. What else we got here? What else? I saw other dots we could look at here. There we go. They totally kept a ton of stuff in shoe boxes, I'm noticing. The Mad Hunter, aka
Look what I
Pyramid
found.
Head, True
What?
Facts.
Only our greatest creation, the Book of Goblins.
The Book of Goblins.
Seriously? It was in that chest the whole time?
Tab, press to open the Book
All
of
these
Goblins.
stories.
I had ideas for so many more.
Okay,
Marianne
hold on.
wrote a lot of them.
Yeah. It's one of the only times I remember her being at peace.
The frog earns the right to speak. The bear and the princess. The beaver fixes the house. The princess's party. The goblins in the ice cave. The princess and the two thieves. The princess makes new friends. The bear's big paws. The moon hag loses her name. The goblins trick the mad hunter. The pelican helps her friends. The goblins earn their voice. The big frog is punished. The goblins save the old beaver, as they should. The goblins irritate the ice king. The pelican forgives the goblins. The goblins meet the ice troll. The goblins trick the muskrat. How dare they trick the muskrat? The moose teaches the goblins. The mad hunter gets his hand back. You don't? I love shoe boxes, but I don't care about shoes. You're like, I just need more shoe boxes. That's fair. That's perfectly fair. We get the whole story? Hold on. We're going to have story time here. Everybody ready? The frog earns the right to speak. Once upon a time, in an ancient and deep forest, there lived a big frog in a small pond. She was a peaceful creature who spent most of her time eating, swimming, and sleeping. From the morning to the evening, she did everything the smaller frogs did, except she did it bigger. She ate more, she jumped farther, she was smarter, and she made much more noise. Everybody in the forest could hear her loud croaking, and everybody was happy that they could. You see, it was easy to get lost in the forest, but thanks to the frog's loud noises, you could just as easily find your way back to her pond. Maybe it would not have been the same if the big frog had kept singing during the night, but she was much too lazy an animal to stay active after dark. Oh, absolutely happy, of course. One day, an unknown visitor came to the forest for the first time. It was a young woman dressed in a beautiful gown. She was walking fast through the woods, as if she was running away. And she never looked back. Many eyes spied the princess pass by, but no one dared to help her, for the mad hunter was on her trail. "This is not our business," they said, "and we had better to look away," for the mad hunter was an unyielding man who loved nothing but hunting down prey for money and glory. Nothing could escape his piercing eye for very long. Hey, Nostro, welcome on in. That's right. Ain't nothing but a mistake. So the princess walked alone, without help, until she was hopelessly lost in the big forest. Exhausted, she pressed on, with no idea of where she was heading, as the hunter drew her closer, dogged in his pursuit. She continued this way until she heard a heavy croaking, far off to her left, so clear and loud that the princess immediately made for the source of the noise. A few minutes later, she reached the big frog in the small pond, and the frog looked at her with a gentle smile. "Help me, please," said the princess. "I need a place to rest and to hide," answered the frog. And the princess frowned. "Please stop making noise. The mad hunter is after me," said the frog again, so loud that the princess had to cover her ears. The creature began to jump every which way. "What are you doing?" asked the princess. "Stop all that noise or you'll find us." But the big frog kept croaking and jumping around left and right, up and down, until the princess understood the meaning of all this fuss. Cautiously, the woman climbed on the back of the big animal, and then with a leap, the frog set off away from the pond. The frog jumped so high and so far that even the hunter could not find where the princess had gone. With a few jumps, the princess was out of his piercing eye. A few jumps more and she had vanished for good. The princess closed her eyes and let her clever mount carry her wherever the creature pleased. Less than an hour later, The big frog had reached the other side of the ancient forest, near the shores of a very deep lake. There, she landed without a noise in front of a big wooden house that had been abandoned. "Thank you," said the princess, covering the animal's snout with kisses. "I only wish you could speak, so I would have understood what you were trying to do sooner." As she pronounced those words, something incredible happened. The big frog was suddenly able to speak. Her first words startled the princess. "The mad hunter is always at my heels. Now you're safe and I've had my revenge. You can stay at this house. It has been abandoned for a long time, and no one will look for you here." And then, without looking back, the big frog jumped back to the pond. And this is how the big frog saved the princess and how she earned the right to speak. So there you go. And that's the story of the frog earns the right to speak. How many stories are in here? Oh my god, look at all these stories. Y'all, we could spend like days in here. They have every one of the stories in the book. That's so freaking cool. A little bit chaotic, Lord.
Where is it?
You looking for something in particular?
My diary.
You never told me about it.
Yeah. With the way Marianne was,
But you
I
gotta
tried
keep the
extra
book.
hard to keep it a secret. Marianne. Yeah, that day she found out about it.
Oh. Remember who you are. I remember.
Mom?
Oh, this is gonna be hard. This is gonna be the day.
Mom!
We're gonna see what happened.
Mom, where is it? What did you do with it?
What now?
I can't find my diary. I know you stole it. Give it back.
Sweetie, whatever I do, it's just for your benefit.
It's
You
just
read
for
it
your
to me.
benefit.
You had no right to do that.
I have the right to do whatever I need to protect my little girl.
I'm not your girl. I hate you.
You will always be my little girl.
Hard to
No
hear.
matter how hard you fight me, I'll fight twice as hard to keep you safe.
I've heard something very similar to that.
I don't know how I never saw it coming. She told me right to my face. She was willing to hurt me, to keep me from transitioning.
Yep. Yep.
Tyler, there is no way you could have known she'd go that far.
And I bet you there's far more than that, too.
I want my diary back. Her room was the only place I didn't look.
Okay, but do you need to get it, like, now?
It's kind of now or never.
That
isn't
diary
it?
was important to me, Allison. Writing down my thoughts helped me realize who I am.
Well, then let's go find it.
You think her room is still locked?
It always was.
Alright.
I'm not looking forward to going in there.
We're just
I
gonna
know,
finish
but
looking
we'll have
around
to
real quick.
eventually, and I need it back. You know, if there's one thing you gotta give
Aw.
Marianne, it's that she let us explore our artistic side.
You should have seen Eddie's face when I tried to repaint his car.
Yeah,
Our
I
space
bet
contact-
Uncle Eddie
contact?
didn't appreciate your artistic touch.
I'd rather you called him Chief Brown if you're gonna be an ass about it.
I'm perfectly fine with that. The City of
How
Love.
did you convince me to let you put this up?
It was my favorite movie. Back then.
That's fair.
So much for my dream of being a hockey star.
Marianne thought sports were too aggressive, too competitive, and too groupthinky.
The Ice King
finally caught the hag. His furious
Reading
voice
out of the
could be
book.
heard throughout the forest. For your wickedness, you will be eternally bound to the lake. What? No way. Quiet, let me finish. You will no longer be allowed to leave. Not even under a full moon. The moon hag was imprisoned in the lake, and she never again tried to escape. And then the title. What do you think? Not bad, right? I guess that's okay. But I would have changed the end. What? No way!
Yeah. Everyone's a critic.
I totally forgot about him.
That's because it was dangerous to mention his name. He was too powerful.
You gotta beware of the Ice King. Just like in Adventure Time. Adventure Time! Well, it's fine, whatever. The infamous her room, isn't it?
Hold up.
What?
Hold up.
Remember this?
Unfortunately.
You must solve my riddle to earn the right to enter the princess's sanctum.
Nothing a good
wait,
hard shove won't take care of.
was her
I
mom
mean,
the
yes, we
princess
could
in all the
brute force
stories?
it, but it might be kind of fun to finally solve it, right?
We have different definitions of the word fun.
Okay, well, if we break it, we're just gonna have to fix it for the sale. So
That's
let's
a
at
good
least
point.
try not to. You have the Book of Goblins?
Yep.
We do have the Book of Goblins.
Hand it over.
So she's gonna tell. So there's gonna be riddles in this game that we're gonna have to solve using the stories.
What are
I
you
don't
looking
hate that.
for?
The image on the door. It's making me think of a story from the book. One that Marianne wrote.
Okay.
You have a way better memory than me.
Well, the Book of Goblins was my creation.
And you'll never let anyone forget it.
True facts. Why would she?
Here it
Yeah,
is.
Poor bean for
The
sure.
one about the
Danny.
princess's party. Give it a read. I think the symbols may represent something in the story.
Okay.
First ghost memories, now storybook puzzles. What a weird day.
There are worse
What a
things.
weird childhood.
Also
Touche.
true. Okay, so we've got the book, we've got the symbols. Book of Goblins tab, turn. Okay, so we can turn these, I see. So that's the Princess's Party, so tab, Book of Goblins. We said the Princess's Party or whatever? 15, boop. The Princess's Party. And we've got a frog, a bear, a moose. So, like, moose, frog, bear? Would that be the order? Once upon a time in a dark, ancient forest. Hold on. Alright, let's go back for a second. What if we do frog? Was it like frog, moose, bear is what it was? Moose? No! I accidentally hit the wrong thing. Keep going. And, bear. It was moose, frog, bear. Sorry. I get things mixed up very easily there. And then froggy. Yeah, moose, frog, bear. Moose, frog, bear.
I think I'm just gonna force this open.
You sure? We're not in a rush, and we'll have to fix it.
Solve the puzzle.
Alright, one more try.
Okay. We might actually have to read the story, so let's find out. Alright. Once upon a time in a deep and ancient forest, the princess was melancholy. The mom being the princess is weird to me, I'm not gonna lie. Because it was her 1-year anniversary when she had run away from home. Seeing her sadness, her forest friends showed up at her door. They were headed by the pelican, pious and attentive, and organized by Moose, stalwart and farsighted. The old bear was there, with his claws so sharp as well as a big frog prattling away. Even the haughty, which is not a word you hear very often, even the haughty muskrat, who mostly came out at night, had come. The bear invited her to ride on his back, promising no wolf would harry her path, and the animals led her to a fairy glen where a fabulous party had been prepared. There's a buffet of seafood the pelican had served from her never-emptying beak. The air was filled with winkling fairy lights the moose had arranged after clouds filled the sky, and the gregarious frog mixed up fizzing drinks. Only the muskrat had done nothing in particular, mooching off everyone else's hard work. Oh, are there real events hidden? Yeah, there are real events hidden here, I believe. The princess had a very good time at her party, such as a good time that she forgot to say thank you to any of her friends. Noticing this, the fairies devised a bit of mischief. When the princess went to open her gift, she found 3 identical boxes at the very edge of the glen. Puzzled, she turned back and gasped. The entire party had vanished. Because of you taking your friends for granted, called the naughty fairies. We have hidden them from you, but we like games. Guess who's given you each of these presents and you'll get your friends back. Oh, so the presents are in the order of the pictures at the bottom of the page, and we have to say who gave what back. That makes sense. Okay. I see where we're going. I see what we're doing here. Okay. Someone wants to make sure I don't get lost in the princess opened the first box. Inside there's a torch, which when lit revealed the truth. Someone wants to make sure I don't get lost in the woods when it's dark, and that I always see right from wrong. Which of my friends would give me a gift like that? She opened the second box. There's a magic sword which would leap right out of the bear's hand to defend them. Someone makes sure I get protected if I'm under a threat. Which of my friends would give me a gift like that? And then she opened the third box and said there's a bag of coins that always provide the money if it was for something the bear truly needed. Said the princess. Someone wants to make sure I have money to buy food when I'm hungry and clothes when I'm cold. Which of my friends would give me a gift like that? The princess thought about her friends and then smiled certainly. Fairy, she said, I may have been thoughtless, but I appreciate all that my friends have given to me and all that they have done for me. She gave her answers, and the vexed fairies were forced to restore the party in a flash of colorful light. One by one, she gave the animals a hug and thanked them for their presents, the party, and all they had done to help her since she moved in the forest. And that is how the princess celebrated her first anniversary in the woods. Okay. So, going back. The torch, the sword, and the bag, right? That's our things. So let's go back to the story again one more time. Let's see. Let's go to the previous, actually. Let's go to this. They were headed by the pelican, pious attendants, organized by the moose, stalwart and far-sighted. The old bear was there, his claws so sharp, and Big Frog rattling away. So the sword is the bear, right? Because they're talking about protection, so the sword has to be the bear. Let's see. Headed by the pelican, pious attentive, organized by the moose, stalwart and far-sighted. Old bear with claws so sharp, as well as Big Frog prattling away. Even the haughty muskrat, who mostly come out at night, had come. Bear invited her to ride her on the back, promising no wolf would harry her path. There was a buffet of seafood. Air was filled with winkling fairy lights. So that makes me think the moose, the light? Yeah, moose far-sighted, but moose also brought lights. So that would make me think the torch, right? Gregarious frog mixed up make fizzy drinks. There's a buffet of seafood the pelican served from her never-emptying beak. Pelican pious and attentive. I'm trying to think if there's anyone else. The muskrat's it's definitely not the muskrat, right? We would agree with that. Someone wants to be sure I have money to buy food. The pelican. I would think pelican, yeah. Because the pelican's the one who provided the food. I would agree with that. 100%, Karen. So, going back here, let's go back again. So, turning. Our first one is moose, which we're already on moose. Second one is bear. There we go, we have a bear. And then last one, we were very close to having it by accident. That's a good sound. And also an awfully complicated lock that you're probably gonna have to replace anyways. Just if we're very honest. Most people aren't going to have that.
And boom, we're in.
Boom, we're in. She has one of those shadow lights just in here at all times.
After so many years, I expected this to feel more, you know, like a win.
Speak for yourself. I'm the one who solved the riddle.
She was the
Why do I
princess in
feel
her
like you're
private
not gonna let me
chambers.
forget that?
Light went out.
Where do you think we should start looking?
I don't know. Where in this mess would she stash someone else's personal thoughts?
Interesting.
Sewing lessons were the absolute worst.
She made all our clothes. I'm sure she needed the help. And I, for one, am happy I can fix a torn seam.
I hear it. Oh, there it is.
I just can't get through. Whatever's going on, they won't let me in. They used to tell me everything, but they shut me out, Tessa. They've shut me out.
Well, I mean, when you're
I've
basically...
had so much on my plate lately, and they're convinced I'm the enemy, and I don't know why. I need them. I need my goblins.
I remember now. We heard her crying. We listened through the door.
Seeing her like this, as if she's still here,
It really sucks.
she was really coming apart those last few months, wasn't she?
I tried to read this one. I could never figure out the order of the chapters, though.
Didn't the author go insane or something?
Timeless Sea by Stephen
No wonder Marianne liked
Orchard. Okay.
She and Tessa were best friends. Until suddenly they weren't. Wonder what happened.
Either Tessa got sick of Marianne's moods, or Marianne got sick of Tessa's judgment.
Maybe.
So she was standing here, spying through the window, drawing us while we played.
She straight in the trash?
No. I bet we could sell it on the internet.
True. Maybe we could sell it to the guy who collects John Wayne Gacy's clown paintings.
Oh, man. It's a cute picture, admittedly. And diary.
It's here. I knew it.
Yeah, look
I
at those
fucking knew
goblins.
it.
Do you think she read it?
Of course.
Of course.
She was nosy as hell.
Oh, Tyler's gonna step away for a second and read that. I bet you we take over the sister for a little bit. Ah, fucking shite. Why'd you have both? Why'd you have fucking both?
Tyler.
One of them
Tyler.
was a conversion camp letter.
What?
Look.
Raising your transgender child, and then the other one was a pamphlet for a conversion camp.
What? Where did you find that?
It was on her desk with her papers.
Seriously? Are you fucking kidding me?
Look, we gotta be really careful not to overthink this.
But it doesn't make any sense. She was mad, right? She was mad I cut my hair. She attacked me because I cut my hair.
She was mad and she attacked you. We both saw it.
Then what is this shit?
I don't know. I don't know. Tyler, come here.
She can't do this to me. Not now. When I've finally made sense of a few things.
It's like she was trying, but she wasn't.
Oh, that was your first mistake. Thinking the world made any kind of sense. 10 years in the grave, and she's still finding new ways to piss us off.
Yeah. I think I need some air.
Yeah, I don't blame him. Oof. It's like fade to black. Was that the end of the first act? Is that what that was?
Are you really, really sure?
We're gonna pause right there for a second. Oh my god. That's difficult. And it's like, so obviously we don't know exactly what happened. We have the recollection of a child who basically their mom attacked him because he got a haircut when she didn't want him to. And then at the same time, you see on some level the mom couldn't handle the situation. But on the other hand, that the book Raising Your Transgender Child is, you know, it's one of those things that exists to help parents in that situation, and it's actually not a bad book. Here, let me look up the actual specific book it was. Raising Your Transgender Child. Where's the specific author? There's so many of them. That also might not have been an actual specific book. But, oh, that's also too recent. This is 2005. 2005. No, that's not the right one. What was the author name? Was it like Reed or something? We're gonna check one more little thing. Reed. Okay, so maybe that wasn't an actual specific book, but there is a book. There's a couple books out there, actually. Here, I can show you. Throw these over here so you can see what I'm looking at. But, like, several of these are highly rated and highly understanding, and, like, this one, you know, this one was literally in my first therapist office with Parenting Your Transgender Teen. So I don't know if that specific book is real, but there are lots of books out there. Like, again, this specific book, Raising the Transgender Child, A Complete Guide for Parents, Families, and Caregivers, like, they exist. There are very good resources.